Hi everyone, it's your accent coach. Congratulations once again on starting your journey towards a better pronunciation and better understanding of American speech. We're going to start off with practicing two American sounds that have one equivalent in Russian. To understand articulation better, we're going to need some help. And this help is a so-called vowel chart. What is it? A vowel chart is a diagram that shows us an open mouth, and it'll help us understand where we need to put the tongue, where we need to concentrate its mass in order to produce this or that vowel. To start with, let's remember something that we know very well. Can you now say the Russian vowel e several times? E. Try to feel where your tongue is. Is it more in the front or in the back of your mouth? Or you can't really say if it's in the front or in the back, it's just resting in the middle. So if we were to show this vowel on this chart, it will be somewhere in the middle. It's not really open. It's not really fronted. It's not really in the back. It's somewhere in the middle. Let's look at the first American vowel, a, which is absolutely different from what we have in Russian. The first difference, as you can see it from the chart, is in that the American a is a bit lower in the mouth, which means it's more open. To produce the correct and natural American sound, you need to open your mouth wide. You need to drop your jaw. That's the first ingredient. The second ingredient, as you can see it from the chart, it's more fronted. It's closer to the teeth. That's why you need to make sure when you pronounce this vowel, when you practice, that your tongue is always in the front. And if you're practicing with a mirror, you will always see your tongue. You have to see it in order to produce the sound correctly. A. Can you repeat it? A. You can compare it to the Russian again. This is the Russian and this is the English one. A. Your tongue is in the front. A. And your jaw drops. A. Okay, let's see how it works in the words, and let's read some words. Repeat after me. Bad, sad, lab, mad. Let's repeat it once again. Bad, sad, lab, mad. Make sure your jaw drops and your tongue is in the front all the time when you pronounce the words with a. Okay, now I'm going to read the words from the second column in contrast with the words from the first one and try to catch the difference. What is the difference between the words in the first and in the second columns? Bad, bat. Sad, sat. Lab, lap. Mad, mat. Okay, at first glance, you might think that the real difference is in the last consonant. However, as we'll see it a bit later, the last consonant is not a very reliable source of information because last consonants can be pronounced really, really quietly and not very clearly. Sometimes you can't even say what the last consonant is. There is something more important than this last consonant. Listen to these examples.
Mad, mad,
Matt.
As you might have gotten it, the main difference between these words when the consonant at the end is not pronounced really clearly, and it happens very often, This difference is in the vowel length. And here comes the most important rule of all English vowels. All English vowels are long before voiced consonants or at the very, very end when there is nothing after them. And all vowels are short before voiceless consonants. So how to check if the consonant is voiced or voiceless? If it's a voiced one, when you pronounce it, you can feel the vibration of your vocal cords. So when you say duh, 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 you can touch your throat here and you will feel the vibration, duh. But when you say t, 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 or s, s, you will not feel any vibration because these consonants are voiceless. Let's read the second column, remembering that the vowel a should be short there. And there is a catch. You have less time to produce this vowel because it's short, but in this little time you still have to open your mouth really wide and put your tongue in the front. Let's read it. Repeat after me. Bat, sat, lap, mat. Okay, and now let's read these words in pairs. Repeat after me. Make sure to drop your jaw equally, the same in both words. In the first word, a is going to be a bit longer. In the second one, it's a bit shorter, but you make the same articulatory movement. Look, bad, bat. I open it the same way, my tongue is in the front, it's just a matter of the length. Repeat the pairs. Bad, bat. Sad, sat. Lab, lap. Mad, mat. Perfect. Now let's see how it works in sentences. Okay, repeat after me. Jack sad. Jack sad. This sentence has two words with the same vowel in terms of articulation, but it's gonna be short in the first word, Jack. Jack. Drop your jaw, move your tongue in the front, Jack. But it's long in the next word, sad. Sad. Jack sad. Jack sad. Okay, let's read another sentence. Jack sat. Jack sat. So here, there are two words with the same sound in terms of articulation and length. So it's short in both words. Jack sat. Jack sat. Okay, let's move on. He's in the lab. He's in the lab. Make sure to read the words before lab. Just passing by, do not concentrate on them too much. Lab is the most important word here. It's the stressed word here in this sentence. He's in the lab. He's in the lab. Okay? He's in the lab. He's in the lab. Good. And the final sentence. Have you seen the bad man? Have you seen the bad man? Two times you have a long vowel. Bad man. Have you seen the bad man? Have you seen the Batman? Have you seen the Batman? Make sure to drop your jaw in both words, but the first one has to be shorter. Bat. Bat. The second one, man, is longer. Batman. Batman. Have you seen the Batman? All right. You might have noticed that this last pair of words, Batman, although they have the same a, this a is a little bit different in the second word. Listen, Batman, Batman. Let's listen to some other examples.
mad, mad,
man, man,
sad, sad,
sand, sand,
cap, cap,
camp, camp,
And here we're dealing with a very frequent phenomenon. Thing is that sounds do not exist separately in the flow of speech. They influence one another. And one of the examples of such an influence is what happens to a when it's followed by certain consonants. By looking at these examples, you can figure out that if a is followed by n, ma, or r, but we're gonna talk about these cases a bit later. A gets a little bit crazy, so to say. It gets unstable. Instead of dropping your jaw right away, right after the consonant, like in bat, bat, if a is followed by n or ma or r, you have to open it gradually, starting very small, but still your tongue has to be in the front. You start small, you do not open your mouth too wide, and then you open it gradually. It gets unstable. Man. Can you repeat that? Man. Okay, a little hint here is in that try to make the first consonant, ma, a little bit softer than ma. Try to make it resemble m, man, man, man. You can only use this life hack when it comes to the unstable a before na or ma. Man, man. Okay, let's read other examples. Sad, sand, cap, camp. And let's look at the vowel chart again. So for a, you had to drop your jaw and put your tongue in the front. If you look at e, what should you do to get from a to e? One very important movement is that you have to close your mouth. It's not that open. Your jaw does not drop. You see, it's higher in the chart, which means your jaw should close. This is a more closed vowel. But the tongue is in the same position. It's in the front of your mouth. That's really important. You should feel the sound here. It's not it's eh. The sound is smaller, so to say. So the first ingredient is to close your mouth. Do not open it too wide. The second ingredient, your tongue should be in the front. And there's the third one, smile. This is the most optimistic vowel in English because here you have to add a smile. And we do it also for some pragmatic reason because when we smile, our tongue naturally moves forward and we need that to strike the right articulation. Repeat after me. Eh. Eh. Smile, make sound small. Eh. Okay, let's read words with eh. Repeat after me. Bed, bed. Make the sound small, add a smile. Your tongue is in the front, your mouth is not open. Bed. Said, said. lead, lead, med, med. Okay, as you notice, this vowel in these words is long because the last consonant, the consonant after this vowel, is voiced. Let's read the words from the second column. Bed, set. Again, you have little time, but you have to smile and you have to place your tongue in the front. Set. Let, let. Met, met. Okay, let's practice these words in pairs. Now repeat the pairs after me. And make sure you'll have to smile throughout the whole exercise, right? It's easier just to keep smile from the beginning till the end of the task. Bed, bed. Said, said. Keep your jaw from dropping. It should not drop. Led, led. Med, met. Good. Now let's do the most challenging thing. Let's look at these two vowels in contrast. So if you want to pronounce them correctly, remember about the following. They have a lot in common, and the most important thing they have in common is that the tongue is in the front of your mouth. But the jaw functions differently. In a, you have to drop it. Your mouth should open. A, a. Okay? In no, it's more of a horizontal movement. Your jaw does not drop, and you add a smile. So when you're trying to articulate the sound, think of it in a horizontal dimension, so to say. When you're trying to say it's more of a vertical dimension. Okay, let's practice the words. Repeat the pairs after me. Bad, bed. So vertical, horizontal. Bad, bed. Sad, said. Once again, sad, said. Make sure your tongue is in the front in both vowels. Bat, bet. Bat, bet. Sat, set. Good. Now let's take another challenge and try to read sentences with a or I. It's a good bat. It's a good bat. Bad. Open it wider. Bad. It's a good bat. And now the second sentence. It's a good bed. It's a good bed. Smile. It's a good bed. Okay, let's read another pair. You spoiled my pans. When you say the word pans, remember that this is a, but it's not a regular one. It's the unstable a because of the following n. Pans. Open it gradually. Pans. Pans. You spoiled my pans. You spoiled my pens. Pens. This word has e. It's a stable sound. It's a closed one. You do not have to open your mouth, so it remains at the same level of your mouth opening throughout all of the vowel. E, pens, pens, and you add a smile. You spoil my pens. Once again, the first one. You spoiled my pans. And the second one. You spoiled my pans. It can be really challenging to strike the difference here because the unstable starts exactly where sound is. But you start with and then you gradually open it. Pans, pans. And the last pair. She gave him a peck. She gave him a peck. So when you say gave him, you do not actually say gave him. We say gave him. Gave him. H is left out. Gave him. She gave him a peck. Open wide for a. She gave him a peck. And the next sentence. She gave him a peck. Smaller sound, smile. She gave him a peck. Okay, today we'll look at a and e and try to practice these two vowels in contrast with the Russian e. To get a better hang on these sounds, do a little test after you watch this video to make sure you understand everything right, and do the first pronunciation task.